point of simple finance applications. I think most of the people are working in FSCO as well as some of the people are in FSCM also. So I think it's so. So based on that, actually, if you come to the simple finance applications, so here most of the things, so whatever we are using in FSCO and FSCM functionalities, so is going to change in simple finance applications. So this is the first point which I want to say. That means it's nothing change in configuration. Configuration is same. So then in functional activities only, there is some changes is occurred. That means most of the controlling applications are integrated to FI application activities, so that we can minimize the controlling activities and maximize the FI activities. That means there is no separate COPA for account based and costing based COPA. So like this, we have a lot of changes are there. So if you want to learn the simple finance applications, so I'm going to recommend you to understand in two scenarios. One is from technical side, one is from functional side. So if you come across with technical side, so why we are learning as we are a functional consultant, even when we are working in real time also, so we are not working with technical side. But as a simple finance consultant, even though you are a functional consultant also, it is better to know. So why we are using some technical concepts such as SLT, system landscape transformation, and also DMO, data migration options, and all these things. So because technical people ask you some recommendations from your end. So if you want to give some recommendations, which table you want to migrate, so from which source you want to migrate, you need to tell to the technical people. So that is the reason it is always recommended to use some technical concepts in part 1. So it is divided into 2 parts. So if you come across with my syllabus structure, so here we have a syllabus structure. So here in the technical side, so these are the concepts. So if you come to the in-memory technology, what is in-memory technology and what is columnar data organization, what is delta match and storage options, what is parallel mechanism, so and also what is basic principles of HANA and SLT and DMO. So these are all the things. After understanding all these things, you are in position to understand how to transfer the data from existing ERP to new ERP application. So this is the first step of simple finance applications. So after understanding this technical side, technical classes, it requires total 10 to 15 sessions to cover the technical concepts. So you are able to transfer the data. Even though we are a functional consultant also, we are in complete picture, we can understand how to transfer the data from target system to the source system to target system. So then if you come to the functional side, so this is purely related to us. So here we are transferring the data from source system to target system. So configuration is not required in this case. Again, there is two scenarios are there in functional side. So here there are two approaches we need to understand. One is, if the company already using existing ERP application, so then you are the responsible person to transfer this data. That means to integrate the tables into the target table. That means all the tables are completely removed in simple finance applications. Why? What is the reason? Because here there is a concept called universal general. All the things are consolidated at one place, even though the reconciliation is also not required. So first we need to understand what is the advantages of simple finance applications. So here I am using the word called in-memory technology. So what is the advantage of in-memory technology? Here, whenever we are going to use the in-memory technology, so the database layers is going to change. Normally, if you see the existing ERP applications, so the data is stored first in hard disk, and then it will store the data in CPU, in memory. So then it will store the data in CPU register. But here it is completely different. In simple finance applications, so that means especially in the point of S4 applications, here the system register all the data into CPU register first. Then it stores the data in memory. and then it will store the data in flash, finally hard disk. That means in simple words, hard disk is not the main constant. So every data is updated into the cloud. So whenever it updates the data into the cloud, you can minimize the lot of disk space into the hard disk. So whenever the disk space is low, the system performance becomes fast. That means, so if you ask anyone, say, what is simple finance, they simply say that you can run the reports very fastly compared with existing ERP. That means 10 to 1000 times faster than existing ERP. Why? What is the reason behind this? Because every data is going to update into the cloud. That is the reason. So it becomes very fast. And there is some reasons is there. Here in existing ERP application, if you come to the table architecture, tables. In existing ERP, every data is updated to row table, and also it will update all the data into different tables, not only a single table. So whenever it updates in different tables, we need to do manually, we need to do the reconciliation. Manually, we need to do the consolidation by collecting some information with different tables. So all these things manually we need to do. And also in some cases it arises for duplication also. So here, let's say you posted the transaction in open items. Again, you are posting in closed items. That means the customer ID is there and also the document number is available. So again and again it is repeating. So like that, if you go different scenarios, say for example, you created a customer in FI and you are converting the customer into business partners in FSCM functionalities. That means in the customer master table, the customer ID is there, customer name is there. But here, if you come to the if you come to the FSCM functionalities, again in the business partner, we have a business partner table. In the business partner table, we have a business partner, and also the same ID is available here. So that means, in simple words, we can say this is purely data redundancy. So this is completely removed in simple finance applications. Whenever it is removed, so here every data is going to update into one table, which is called column table, or you can say columnar table. You can easily remember the table called ACDOCA. Only one table. And all the header data is updated into the different table, and transaction data is updated into the ACDOCA table. So whenever it works like this, so automatically, so whenever it works like this, automatically all the data is updated into the one table, so the reconciliation is not required. So again, if you ask anyone, so why the reconciliation is completely removed in simple finance applications? Because of this reason. Because all the row-based tables are integrated to one table, which is called ACDOC in column table. So that is the reason the reconciliation is not required. So like that, we have some more reasons is also there. See, whenever you update the data into the one table, again the hard disk space is very less. So this is also one of the reasons to increase the performance and the speed of the reporting. So then, if you come to the duplication, say for example, here when we are updating any transaction, so that means it stores in different tables. Again and again the data stores in different tables. So to understand this, how to remove this, and also why the system removed all these things means, we need to understand what is data redundancy. So there is another part in the technical side. So this is completely removed in simple finance. Then take another reason. So let's say as an end user, we are using different transactions. Let's say we are in config project. So you are logging with the user ID. I am also logging with my user ID, and both are working in same server. So when we are working with the same server, you cannot log in the same screen at a time. That means only one person can log in one screen at a time. So this type of, normally if you are doing practice also, in IDS also we face a lot of times this issue. If the users are in multi-user access, so normally we face this issue. So some user has been locked the screen. So immediately you are going to SM12 and you are deleting all the line items, and then you are coming to the picture. So these things are not required in simple finance applications. A n number of users can log in at a time with same screen. So even though if it is in config side also. And one more reason is here all the data which stores in the row base is updated with characters. Say for example, somebody we are taking some Jack, so like this we are taking some Smith, so like that so customer names is there. So all these things are completely converted into numeric in simple finance application table. So again in that point also the hard disk capacity it takes very less space and increase the performance. That means why I am saying all these things. These are all the reason behind to understand why we are using simple finance applications. And if you come to the functional activities, this is purely related to us. And in functional activities, we have two types of approaches are there. If the company already using existing ERP application, only after ECC 6, we have a new GL concept. So if you want to convert these data, that means if you want to migrate this data into S4 application, so what we need to do is first we need to migrate the tables. Whenever you migrate the tables, all the information, whatever it is there, is updated to simple finance applications. That means the existing data updated. So we have existing data. Now we need to work with this existing data. So no need to configure each and every step, but we need to understand what are the major changes occurred, what are the transaction codes has been changed, tables has been changed, why it is changed, and what effect in functional activities. These changes we need to understand. So then we need to do some configurations also. Because when we come across with configurations, as I already told you just now, all the cost elements are integrated to FI. So if you want to understand this, first we need to understand what are the configurations, the basic things. And once the configurations is done for existing data, we need to test it. So just run in, post the transactions and run the report. After running the report, see here, once the data is updated. So this data comes from existing system. This is say for example, this is the raw data which is already there in existing ERP also. Now with the help of SLT and DMO, let's say system landscape transformation, or you can say DMO, data migration option. The data is transferred to S4 application. Okay, the existing data is transferred to S4 application. Then we need to understand the changes first. So after migration, what happened in simple finance applications for existing data? Take GL as an example. What changes it is occurred and from the GL point. So after understanding these changes, we need to do some additional configurations for GL point. So what things you want to migrate, and you can see here. Let's say if you take general ledger. Okay. Here if you come to the simple finance applications. And the general ledger. So migrate GL general ledger customization. So then we need to maintain some leading ledgers, non-leading ledgers, and also other activities. We need to map the CO objects, that means CO applications, to FI application. All these are we need to additionally do it. So then we need to understand how to update the line items into new data structure. Finally, migration of balance and complete migration. After migration, we need to text it. That means we need to post some transactions after migration activities, and what we need to identify what changes it is occurred. So this is the scenario which we need to understand from the functional side. So that means there is a cyclic process is there. First understanding the changes, then configuration, then testing, and finally reporting. So in each and every case, we have general ledger is there. So we have asset accounting is there, accounts receivables is there, accounts payables is there. From controlling activities also, we have a lot of issues are there. That means controlling the cost elements, cost centers. So then COPA and also product costing. So all these things we need to understand in this sequence. First, we need to understand the changes of the particular topic, and then configurations, additional configuration, then test it and run it the report. So once if you are going to run the reports, so in simple finance applications, we have a simple tools which is called SAP Lumira. That means normally when we see SAP reports means most of the customers are getting confused about this SAP reports. So and also if you want to divide into the business area wise, zonal wise, so like this, it is very difficult to do. That means it's a little bit time taken process to divide all these reports into different categories. To do this, there is an automated process is there, which is also called as. Additionally, you need to install in your system. So this software, SAP Lumira. So you can find with this icon, SAP Lumira. So once if you install this into your system, it supports all types of new systems such as Windows 8, Windows 9, Windows 10, whatever it may be. So once if you install this system, and once if you download the report into your system with, say for example, FBL5 report. So I want to divide in zonal wise, area wise. Like this, I want to some sales forecasting as well as the purchase forecasting, all these things. No need to do it manually. Just download all the FBL report, FBL3 and report into your system, drag it and drop it into this software. Automatically the system will update. So how we need to prepare, and also this is create some graphical interface also. So that reports will give a complete picture from customer side also. So, and we have another tool is there, which is called SAP Predictive Analytics. So, why we are using this tool? Predictive Analytics means, say, for example, you want to forecast the future for cash forecasting or liquidity forecasting. So, what you are doing is just drag and drop the files into Predictive Analytics and make some settings, few settings, 4 or 5 settings. Automatically, the system will prepare the cash flow report and also future forecasting report. So, all these things are technically. This is Luminar 5. So just you need to drag it from Microsoft Excel or copy to clipboard and run it. Automatically the system will prepare the report. This type of enhancements are most advantageous from functional side. So all these things are supported by simple finance applications. So this is one approach. That means if you are migrating the data from existing ERP to new ERP application. Then there is another approach is also there. Say for example, if the company doesn't have any ERP application in previous times, now they want to implement SAP with S4 technology. So that means simple finance application. If they want to do it, first they need to start with S4 application. That means simple finance application. In that case, this integration of row tables to column-based tables and also migrating from existing ERP to new ERP by using SLT and DMO, all these things are not required. Directly they can do the functionalities in simple finance applications. That means from the company code onwards, they can start it. But here also, even though if your company is using the existing configuration, which we know in simple finance application, again we need to understand the changes and additional configurations. So posting and also reporting. So that means in both the scenarios, whether the company is using existing ERP or whether the company is first time implementing the S4 application, whatever it may be. So this part is very important to us. So these things we need to understand from functional side. That means there are two approaches are there. So then if you come to the functional activities, most of the people are saying only FSCO things are working in simple finance applications. Here, understand the logical point. If you go to FSCM functionalities, there is a credit management, collections, disputes is there. So in this point also, we have some data. Okay. So that data comes from accounts receivables. That means again the source is FI only. In that case also, there is some changes is occurred. So I will show you practically. Let's say if you take existing ERP, let's say you are a collection specialist and you are preparing your responsibilities, you need to convert the business partner, a customer into business partner, then we need to prepare a work list item. So whenever you prepare a work list item, see here, so whenever you prepare the work list item, you are the responsible person to transfer this data, the FI invoice data, into collections management applications. Normally what we are doing is in existing ERP, I am displaying my own data. Normally what you are doing is you are creating some promise to pay for work list items and also you are updating some installment plans. So in existing ERP, what we need to do is whenever the customer approach the due date, you need to send a confirmation to your FI consultant and he is the responsible person to post F-28 transaction. Whenever you post the transaction, then automatically it will reflect in work list items. So this is the thing which is happening in existing ERP. But if you come to the simple finance applications, this is not required. So whenever a customer approach the date, the due date, so with the help of IBAN and also with the help of IDOCS, we are going to integrate some data with the bank accounts directly to the customer master and also we are updating to the collection specialist. So whenever a date is approached, the due date is approached, automatically the payment will be directed from the bank account of the customer and also the FI document will be generated automatically. And you can see that result in FDL5N or else you can see the result in collection worklist also. So these things are, that means without involving with FI people, directly it is going to direct from the worklist items. So no need to, that means verifying the customer, finding the, sending the notice. So again we are coming back. So all these things are not required from the FSCM functionalities also. Like that if you come to the treasury and risk management. So that we don't have the functionalities with different valuation methods. But here in simple finance applications, because of universal general, so it supports all types of valuation methods. That means you can run your report so with multi-language in at a time with different scenarios. So like this, we have some enhanced functionalities are there from FSCM functionalities also. And if you come to the simple finance applications from the functional point of view, here it is mainly focused on cash management and liquidity forecast. This is backbone of simple finance applications. So that means what I'm saying is, so there are two approaches are there while learning the simple finance from the functional activities. One is with migration. After migration, what we need to do. So without migration. And then both FI, CO as well as FSCO. So we need to understand these things very carefully. So while understanding the simple finance applications. So the reporting point also, we need to understand what is SAP Lumina and also how we need to work with that. These are all one-time study. So no need to repeat again and again in each and every concept. So if you learn in GL, you can use the same concept even in accounts receivables, accounts payables also. what is predictive analytics and how we need to use it. And here there is one more functionality there, which is called user-friendly tool called Fury. So the Fury is also the backbone of simple finance applications because the Fury gives the complete picture in graphic mode. So no need to log in just like SPRO, IMG and all these things. So directly, if you log in into the Fury apps, so directly we can update a new company code, or if you want to update with the existing data also, we can simply post the transactions and all the things while using the Fury is stored in cloud applications. So it is not there in on-premises solution. So like this, we have some approaches, technical approach, functional approach, and all these things. So these are the things which I'm going to discuss in simple finance applications. So now, if you come to the syllabus structure, so first we are going to update with technical side. So once these concepts are done, you are able to transfer the data from existing ERP to new ERP. So here it is very clearly showing in the system itself. So then if you come to the concept wise in functional aspects, let's say first we need to understand how to customize and also why we are using universal general in simple finance applications. So then what is central finance system? And also we have one important point is there, which is called migration of classical GL to new GL. Say the company is using existing ERP earlier than ECC6 because we have a new GL concept from ECC6 onwards. So let's say the company is using older than ECC6. In that case, first what you need to do is you need to update the new GL concept into your system. That means migrate the data from existing data to ECC6 onwards. So once it is converted into the new GL concept, again we need to convert into the simple finance application. That means there are two approaches are there again. First convert the existing ERP to new GL to universal general. So because simple finance is completely supporting with universal general concept. So just like I had shown you from the GL point, understanding the changes, customization, postings after changes, and report generation. Like that from AR, AP, and asset accounting. So controlling major changes, understanding new controlling activities, migrate real-time data with controlling to finance applications because all the things are completely removed. So here you can see practically once again I am showing you. Normally everybody know about FS00. So everybody know about FS00. But if you come to the simple finance applications, especially in the controlling activities, go to cost element, open the master data. See, there is no cost elements. There is no primary, there is no secondary. But where it is happening? So go to FS00, there you can find this. Normally this account type is not available in existing ERP, but we have account type. And also edit cost elements is not there. So that means directly you are selecting, let's say you created a raw material purchase. So directly you are selecting primary cost as revenues and you directly it will update the cost element. That means it will update in GL as well as in cost element. So you can use according to your requirement. Okay. So like this, there is some changes is occurred. So that is the reason we need to understand how to migrate the real-time data controlling activities to finance applications. Then we need to understand cost element migration to cost centers and cost elements migration, postings after migration in FI controlling activities, report generation, integration with material management and SD. Again, there is a complication issues there. So most of the people they are asking about what happened to existing integration and what the effect of new simple finance applications. Here, SAP has released the concept called simple logistics. Technically, it is called Pro Plus. So here there is material management, sales and distribution, so production planning, all these functionalities are integrated again with single table architecture. So that we are going to discuss in simple logistics. So then product costing changes and also effect, report generation. So like this, we have different types of scenarios on there. So including material ledger, and then changes in FSCM, understanding simple cash management of English. So after updating all these things, we need to understand some interview questions also, technically or functionally. Okay. So then every report is going to generate in SAP Lumira, Predictive Analytics, Effect with Fury apps. So this is my syllabus structure. And come to the services. So this is the concept of simple finance applications, and also how it is migrated the data from existing ERP to new ERP application. In which scenario we need to understand the simple finance applications. So I hope these points are clear to everyone. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. You can unmute and you can freely ask me whatever the doubts you have related to the concept. Can we migrate from classical GL to universal general directly? No, because we can do it because here nothing is there in the migration activities. Directly the tables are migrated. But you cannot enjoy the advantages of universal general. Yes. Yes, exactly. From the bank account side, so separate configuration is not required. Yeah. If you have any doubts, the rest of people also, you can chat. You just type in chat box. If it is clear, then I will move to the next session. Yes. So in asset accounting, if you come to the point of asset accounting, so depreciation especially. Say for example, if you want to run different depreciation methods at a time in existing ERP application, it is not possible. So here you can see that all the steps are same. There is no change. All these steps are migrated to the new GL, new simple finance applications. But here, no need to run different types of depreciation methods. So all the depreciation methods are integrated automatically. See, in simple finance. So here, if you see these steps, you can easily understand. Or else you can go through the path also. The same steps is available in path also. So very simple parameters. That means activation of asset accounting in simple finance applications, and we need to migrate the data from existing ERP. So whenever it done with these things, see in existing ERP we have depreciation methods are updated in different methods, but here you can run all the depreciation methods into a single step. That is the major activity. So which we can enjoy the advantage in simple finance application from the asset accounting point of view. And reconciliation. See, here the point is even if you are using the bank account separately, so or if you are using AR separately or if you are using AP separately, we have different tables are there. So all these things are updated into one table which is called ACDOC. So whenever it is updated into the one table, manual reconciliation is not required. Even though in that case, if we want to update with separate bank reconciliation statement, so we can pick up this data from ACDOC and we can prepare the report. But most of the times it is not required. Okay. So this is about bank reconciliation in simple finance applications. For that, there is separate set of settings are there. So we need to do that. So if you want to prepare a separate statement, in COPA, tables are merged in single table. Yes, in COPA especially, there is much more changes in not there in configuration side. But in COPA, account-based COPA and costing-based COPA separately it is not required. There is only single step COPA is there. So by using this functionality, we can easily prepare the reports. For preparation of reports also, as I already told you, no need to do the reconciliation again and again. So it is automated reconciliation process. Actually, if you have a work experience in product costing and material ledger, that's good. Even though if it is not there, that's not a problem. So we can directly understand that. So for that, I will give some backup. If you do not have any experience on that, or if you do not know about the concept, so I will give some backups. That's not a problem. Understanding the concept is very important. Work experience is a different thing. Hmm. Okay. I hope most of the doubts has been clarified. Then come to the second step. So here, what services we are providing? So it is not just like FICO by using some access, by using some materials, so directly navigating and all these things. This is not just like FICO training. So this is completely a different training. So here, if you want to work with simple finance applications, you require two types of systems. One is source system, which you need to implement the FICO applications. So you can use any version, so except the earliest version of ECC6. So we can use any version after that, even from your end also. But in your system, make sure that the SLT configuration is mandatory. Okay. So if you are using existing ERP application, even which is installed in your system, so the SLT, you need to ask your technical team to update the SLT in your system. That is mandatory. So then, if you come to the other server access, so SAP HANA plus SLT plus SP9 plus S4 plus Simple Finance adding. So these combinations are required, and the database is always SAP HANA. So that means this server is also required to work with Simple Finance. That means, say for example, you want to install in your laptop. So if you want to install in your laptop, you need to install two versions. One is ECC6 with any version. So no need to use EHP7 only. So you can use any version. But make sure that SLT configuration is mandatory. And you need to install the SAP HANA database also. In that, this combination is mandatory. And ECC6 EHP7 only supports the SAP Simple Finance applications. Then additionally, so you need to install some software such as SAP Lumira, Predictive Analytics, Fury. So this is not inbuilt with SAP server. Directly by providing some links, that links I will provide you. So if you register for that, directly you can install in your system. There is no question at all, and it takes very less space so to install this software. So these complete pack is required so to run simple finance applications. So then, so here if you come to the material side, so here there is a lot of materials are available in online. So if you go to the SAP Press, if you go to the so AC100, AC101, like this, a lot of things are available. But here I have designed one material which is very useful and understandable from the functional side. So you can see my system for that material. This is my own material. Here what I have done is I had updated the overview of simple finance applications with some graphics. So then deployment models. So if the company is planning to deploy into the simple finance applications, what suggestions you need to give? So for that, we need to understand what add-ins we need to update with existing ERP applications. For that, I am updating with deployment models. Not able to see my data, but I am more. Vijay, can you see my screen? Others can see my screen?
Yes, able to see your screen.
One second. I will stop the screen and then we'll start. Yeah. Now are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. See, here from the technical side, whatever the concepts we are discussing, so from the technical side, so we have what is in-memory technology, what is data redundancy, what is delta merge and storage points, and what is parallel mechanism, so and also SLT and DMO. These are all the points which is related to this documentation, chapter 3 and chapter 4. So then if you come to the fifth thing, so from fifth onwards, it is purely a functional activities. Here I had explained activities before migration in the source system, then concept of universal general and central finance system. And then I come into the each and every topic. Let's say general ledger. Here I updated with impact and change after migration activities. Then customization and posting in after migration activities. For each and every topic I am saying. So like this, I had updated each and every step with screenshots and configuration also, configuration steps. So then here, how to understand the reports using SAP Lumira and also some interview questions from technical side and functional side. So that means I had simplified this configuration so to understand from the functional side. You can see all the things, whatever I had mentioned here. Let's say if you come to the concept of universal general concept. So if you refer any material, there is a very lengthy process is there to understand. But here I had mentioned very simply, okay, with some tables and also screenshots. So directly you can navigate it and you can simply understand this concept. Like that, if you come to the customization document. So here I had mentioned first changes. What changes it is occurred, and then here you can see the customization material also, step by step. So why we are doing that application activity and what is the effect of transaction. Mhm. For me, it's very fast. I think due to this WebEx setting. Okay. So these are the things from my end. That means my own material. So then, if you come to the reference materials, here, along with my material, so I'm providing you some reference material. No need to purchase any materials from you. So simple finance overview with migration activities, without migration activities, and also business suite on HANA. So these are three reference materials for simple finance applications. Then if you come to the FICO applications also, so I know that most of the people know about FI and CO activities. But in ECC PHP 7 version, there is some changes which occur. To understand these changes, I am providing again with FI and also CO complete notes with step-by-step procedure along with changes documentation. So then FSCM. So we have total 6 modules are there in FSCM, such as credit collections, disputes, treasury and risk management, in-house cash and liquidity. So for all these modules, I'm going to provide you the config material, end user material, business blueprint, and also the recordings, end-to-end recordings. So that means what I'm saying is no need to take separate training for FSCM or TRM. So which includes in our training. So no need to take a separate training for these elements. Okay. Only the thing is your responsibility is you just need to follow my recordings, and whenever you have a doubt, just mail to me. So that I will give the reply to your doubts, or else you can ask in the class itself. Okay. So these are the services which I am going to provide from my end, and from the interview point of view. So when we are preparing for the interview, we have very less time. So more than 3 hours, 4 hours like this. Again, you are verifying the materials, verifying the documents. It is very difficult and it's very tough task. So to understand that, I have prepared one Excel sheet. Very simply, you can easily understand that. Let's say GL. So what changes it is occurred? So this is the concept. This is the module. This is the TC codes, updation of TC codes, and what changes it is occurred. Just refer this concept. So total there is purely 56 steps are there. Just refer this 56 steps from the interview point of view. So to understand the concept in quick review. Okay. So this is the things which I am going to provide you while we are in the training, and the total time required is 40 sessions, excluding of weekends, Saturday and Sunday. So from Monday to Friday we have a session. So first 10 to 15 sessions, it means 2 weeks, is taken by our technical consultant. Is going to explain all the technical activities. So once it is clear, so then I'm going to start with functional activities. Okay. For functional activities, I require the rest of things, 25 sessions to cover the modules, excluding of Saturday and Sunday. Okay. And if anybody has any doubts, just type in the chat box. So I will give it. Yeah, weekdays is there, weekends batches is also there. So you do one thing. So whatever the time convenient to you from your end, just update to consultant. So he is going to update to me. Based on that, we will schedule the session. But weekends, it is 3 hours. Okay. Saturday 3 hours and Sunday 3 hours. Yeah. So just discuss the timings with Pradeep. So the rest of things, such as from the concept wise or the service which we are providing on all these things, so I will take care of that. Yeah, you can really see directly. You can send a mail and or a screenshot, or directly. So you can send a Skype message also. One second. Yes, for early versions. Yeah, here there is some changes is there, Shikhar. That changes we are going to discuss. Yes, from a configuration side, from a simple finance also, S4 also, that is nothing but so the updation of SLT and DMO with migration of tables. These things we need to understand. That is the reason I mentioned very clearly in the technical side. Okay. So regarding to the timings, just discuss with Pradeep. So he will update to you. And the rest of things, whether it is weekends or weekdays, just update that also. Based on that, so we'll plan the schedule and we will update you. Okay. Yeah. So see, most of the Fury apps, if you are going to use the Fury apps, so transactions is not required. But directly we are navigating into the system with the cloud system, and we are updating the data. That means customizable changes cloud is there, and on-premises edition is there. So first we need to decide which version we are using. Okay. Okay, Pradeep. So I think most of the things are completed. So you just check with others. Okay. Thank you everyone.